Hello, YouTube land, and welcome to another edition of the Crypto Mamma Mia. And guess what, ladies and gents? I have another special video with another special YouTuber. On today's episode, we have Mr. Big K Crypto. How are you, Big K?
Hey, Cryptocom, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. So I see that, I love this, by the way, be your best self. I love the
Yeah,
your little what do you call this, your background. But anyways,
yeah,
I'm here to talk to you about crypto because both you and I, we love crypto. So I always try to find some great YouTubers and reach out to them. And so here we are. So I always ask,
thank you.
the first question I ask is, how did you get into crypto? Like, where did you first hear about it? Did a friend tell you? Did you just buy it to buy, or was it for a platform, et cetera, et cetera? So why don't you tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about that?
It was an interesting one because I kind of knew of it. Again, I think with a lot of people, I kind of saw it through the bull run, just kind of like mainly through the news. I didn't really know it, back in 2017.
Mhm.
But then as it was tailing off, I saw a couple of like family members. They were talking about it. They were doing some kind of trading on their phones, and I really liked the idea of it, and I wanted to kind of. I always had this idea in my head where I wanted to kind of get that financial freedom if I could, and I found a big interest in it. And yeah, I kind of started that way. I kind of ended up buying all these all these kind of like shit coins and trying to flip them, and that wasn't working out too well. And then I started looking into leverage trading, thinking, that could be a better way to do it. I started watching all these YouTube guys, and it just didn't kind of, I was doing it, I was learning a little bit about TA, and sometimes I was winning, sometimes I was losing, but there was no consistency. And then I think, like, you can familiarize yourself with this as well. I stumbled across one of Oracle's videos,
Mhm.
and yeah, I kind of saw, I thought it can't be, is that real? Is it really real? I was really skeptical at the time.
Mhm.
And yeah, this was a couple of months into it, and yeah, I thought, you know what, I'm a big believer in paying for an education, and you get what you pay for, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I bit the bullet straight away. I just found it really intriguing. I found Oracle really intriguing, and yeah, I had the consultation with Oracle, and that was it. It was like suddenly I had control. Once I had the consultation and I started learning to leverage trade, and
Mhm.
I went through a bit of a rough patch at the time because my mum had cancer at the time
Oh,
when I was going to have the consultation, and my baby was being born, my first child. So it was all kind of
oh,
like,
oh.
yeah, it was all it was quite intense, but it was a steep learning curve, and yeah, it just kind of went from there, really. And
Oh,
having Oracle there as as the teacher and helping us out through everything, and then
yeah,
stemming into the YouTube world, having that hand up, to do that, it's all been life changing. It's all been
yeah,
life changing.
yeah. I know. I watched some of your videos. In fact, your home video here is how to make crypto full time and live the laptop lifestyle. So, are you
Yeah,
living the full time crypto laptop lifestyle
I
now?
am. I am. I am. In fact, actually, that thumbnail was actually from my window, for where I work, and that
Oh,
that was kind of like, I think, my kind of dream where I wanted to be. To sort of to elope out of the UK, and come to where my family are from, and
hmm,
just live a life of. My dad was a very kind of hardworking man. Like, he worked every hour of the day. I hardly ever saw him, but he gave me and instilled in me, a lot of life lessons, which was work hard. If you want something, you got to work hard for it, and get there. And I had that kind of image, what you see there actually on that thumbnail, is kind of
yeah,
like my
yeah.
inspiration. And yeah, here we are now. I'm living that life now.
Oh, that's awesome. So just to be clear, you did not come from a lot of money. You weren't like
No.
a full-time trader of any kind before you got into
No,
crypto. You were just a regular person looking into,
just a regular Joe.
yes.
Yeah, just a
Oh,
regular Joe. I mean,
yeah, go
I had,
ahead.
we kind of, we came from humble beginnings and stuff. And my father being a first generation into the UK when he moved there, and
Mhm.
worked very hard to build up his own thing, and that's where I kind of learned that. But we went through a lot of hardships. We had a thing where mum was, our mum was getting kind of thrown out of her house, and it was all, we had a really kind of tough time, and we had to build up ourselves, and work hard to kind of get where we get to. And that's why I like to kind of live that life myself, and try and work as hard as I can to achieve what I want. really.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And that's why I like Crypto Big K. And it's something for everyone, right? Like you don't have to be coming from big money, like your family doesn't
Exactly.
have to be rich, and you yourself don't have to be coming from a financial background. Like, you know, both you and I
Yeah.
always say we're not financial advisors, right? Like
Exactly.
we don't give any type of financial advice. We're just YouTubers. And but crypto, if you're willing to learn about it, it can actually change your life for the better in like
Exactly.
in a whole different way. And I think in a much simpler way than maybe like say something like stocks or real estate, right? Because you can
Yeah.
start out with small amounts and build it to big amounts.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people overcomplicate things as well. I mean, it does come down to like what you just said. As long as you're willing to sit down and listen and learn and
Mhm.
do the grind kind of thing. Like Oracle says as well. Then
Yeah, yeah,
anyone can do it. Whether you start from £50 or $50, sorry, to $5,000, doesn't matter where you start. You can really make something out of it.
exactly, exactly. So let me take a look at your videos here really quick. So
I've been slacking the last couple of days.
no,
I have
no,
to
like
be honest.
you have one from yesterday.
Yeah.
Cubatech is that the biggest passive platform that you're in right now? Is Cubatech?
For me, yeah, for me, again, I'm not one to kind of jump into too many things at the same time. When I was looking at Cubitech at first, there was all these other ones, like uh, the ones we won't mention, the ones that are not here anymore. And there was so much going on at the time, and I wanted to kind of just focus on one. And Cubitech has been, doing what it's supposed to be doing even to this day. And for being a YouTuber as well, and getting the referrals out and stuff, it's been incredible. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
one thing I like to say to everybody as well is, everyone looks at it and say, "Oh, but you're a YouTuber," and
Mhm.
yes, okay, I have a platform to get a link out, but everyone can do it as long as they uh, dedicate an hour. And so it's what I say to my team, because I've got my own Telegram group, private group for that. If they join up with my link, and I say to them, as long as you put in half an hour to an hour every day, Monday to Friday, trying to get your link out, you'll do it. And it's like push starting a car. And once you start getting that traction, it builds and stuff. And you can really do great things. But even without the referrals, this is a great platform, hands
Yeah.
down. So it's for me the best,
I mean,
definitely.
it pays out what 250%, about
Yeah,
25% a month, even if you like you said, even if you don't get any referrals. But
exactly.
yeah, but with referrals, of course, you'll get more. And the good thing is, even for myself, and I'm sure for you, just
Yeah,
starting a YouTube, it doesn't take a whole lot of capital, right? As long as you
no,
got
exactly.
something that can record you somehow,
Yeah.
right?
And there's a
Share
lot
your
and there's a lot
screen.
of free stuff. There's a lot of free stuff
Yeah.
out there to get.
Yeah, there is a lot of free stuff. Like for myself, like even recording this interview, I mean, we use Zoom, right? And Zoom doesn't
Yeah,
cost anything at all. And then you can just go ahead and upload it or use the screen recorder to edit. And like you said,
exactly.
there's a lot of free ones, and you can do it from anywhere, right? Like you could be in Timbuktu and you could be doing it as long as you have an internet connection, and right, you could just go
Exactly,
ahead and get
exactly that.
started.
All people need is just that little push. If they just make that first step, and it's stepping out into the comfort zone. Whether it be if they want to be a YouTuber, or if they just want to kind of try something different with crypto, or they want to do whatever it is. I think with anything in life, stepping out into that zone that
Yeah.
something that you're not particularly familiar with,
Yeah.
it's always a bit unnerving at first. But once you take that step, it all kind of naturally comes at that point.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And so how did you decide that you wanted to become a YouTuber? Did you get a push? I'm pretty sure you got a push
Yeah.
from certain people,
Yeah.
but why don't you let us know your story about how you got started on YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think it was one of Oracle's giveaways at the time, and he did a giveaway, saying, do a little YouTube video and stuff, and I did it, and I think, I don't know, I felt really awkward doing it, to be honest. I felt very
Oh, did
awkward
you?
talking to my screen, because I come from a teaching background, so I was very much used to,
Oh,
talking to people in person rather than on a screen. Although obviously a lot of people are doing that nowadays because of
yeah,
COVID, but
yeah, yeah.
it's I did it and I kind of liked it, but I was like, I couldn't do this for a living. It wouldn't really work. But yeah, Oracle gave me the push, and he said, you got a good voice for it. You carry yourself well. if you just kind of listen to me, I'll give you some tips, hints, and stuff, and I can help you out. And true to his word, he helped me out all the way, all the way. He would put comments here and say, how about trying this, do that, and yeah, without his hand up, I don't think I would have done it at all, to be honest. And yeah, here we are today. So big thanks to the big man.
Yeah, I mean, he pushed me as well. And you know what, you're right. Like at first, when especially that first video, it sounds so awkward, even just listening
Yeah.
to yourself when you play it back. It's so
Oh, it's terrible.
strange, right? It's so strange.
Mine was so terrible. I look back now and I can't listen to the first 20 seconds.
But I mean, look at
But
you now.
exactly. I mean, that's the thing. It's like once you do your first, I mean, people say, your first 50 videos or 100, and it sounds like a lot, right? But actually, once you start doing them, you lose track. You're not counting how many videos you're doing. And each video that you do, you get more confident, you get better at it. You understand what, oh, I could have done something else there, or I could have slowed down. I used to speak very, very fast in my first videos, like super fast, like ridiculously fast. And that was a big thing for me. I had to kind of learn to slow down a little bit. But yeah, it's taking that first step out, and it all improves over time, for sure.
Yeah, it does. It really does. It's like with anything else, right? The more you do it, even with like
Yeah,
crypto or like platforms, the more you do certain things or even trading, the better you
yeah,
get at it, right? You can't just do it one time and be like, oh, that was too hard, and then don't do it again for like a
that's
couple
it.
months, right?
Exactly. You have to learn, and you have to learn sometimes through mistakes, and you make mistakes, whether they're costly or whether they're not. But each one is, nobody says it all the time as well. Each one's an education.
Yes.
Each mistake is a lesson. So it's just another lesson learned and a lesson earned.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I like that. A lesson learned and a lesson earned. So, what would you
Yeah.
say to date would be your biggest crypto win? Whether it's even just core compounding or trading or a platform. And you don't have to give
It's
me
hard.
a number, just like,
Yeah,
go
it's
ahead.
hard to say. I mean, I kind of split it for different angles of my life, I guess, because core number compounding is, insane, right? It's ridiculous. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And that works for me. I use it with crypto.com, and actually with a new app now that I'm kind of testing out, Tap. And it pays for my day-to-day expenses. So when we go to the supermarket, or when a bill needs paying, and all of my kind of day-to-day stuff for me and my family, core number compounding essentially pays for that, which is great. So I have that on that side. And then I've got my platforms, mainly Cubitech. I do go into, the odd hype here and there. And that's great. But yeah, it's mainly Cubitech that I in terms of a platform. And
Yeah.
that's just something that I put more for the long term.
Hmm.
I don't really hodl, but I do have a little stash that I put away,
Hmm.
for the blind eye. And then then I've got my trading as well, which is my I call it my fun money. Yeah, that's where I'm like, okay, I'm going to splash out on a new car, or whatever else. And trading is trading. Trading is what I came from the beginning. Really, that was for me where my crypto initiation, so to speak. I did learn about crypto before that and all the other kind of stuff, but my first big win was leverage trading,
I was trading.
from the Oracle. And yeah, that's something that I still do. I don't do as much of it as I used to, because obviously YouTube and all this other kind of stuff going on at the side. But
Hmm.
it's great. It's like, I look at the charts, I can see it clearly, and I say, okay, there's a good point for me. And yeah, it's brilliant. It's my nice little bit on the side.
Oh, okay. So would you say you took some of those trading wins and you put it into some of these hypes and Cubitech, and is that where your crypto came from, or was it more from the core
For sure.
compounding? Or
Yeah, it all started from leverage trading. That's where I made the majority of my profits at first. And then I'd use a little bit, going into a hype and stuff. And some of them worked, some of them didn't, as hypes work, right? That's just
yeah,
how the world of
yeah.
hypes work. But and then I kind of started developing a system, and I said, right, I want to have my kind of low risk money
Mhm.
somewhere, and I want to have my medium kind of midterm kind of risk level in the middle, obviously, and then a proportion for my high risk. So anything that I get from leverage trading goes into that kind of funnel. So I put it either away for core number compounding, or if I don't want up my numbers, I can just kind of keep it on the side for something else. Then I have a proportion of my portfolio in ready for something like Cubitech, and then
Okay.
obviously for the other stuff, which is more of the high risk stuff.
Yeah, the hypes and things like that, right? So
But yeah, I'm a big advocate in Sorry, I had to get a bit of water there.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I'm a big advocate in not only spreading your investments but also spreading the risk. I think
Oh,
that's quite important, and doing it wisely, obviously. But it's not just about going into the lowest risk thing you can do and just keeping everything there. For me, I like to diversify. Diversification is key, but also not just in what I'm investing in, but in terms of risk level as well.
oh, okay. Well, that's good then. So yeah, you do have a little bit of here and there everywhere, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's kind of
Basically.
hard to keep up with sometimes.
Yeah. But I mean, I really do enjoy watching your videos. I do enjoy
Thank
hearing
you.
your voice.
Likewise.
I mean, it's very as you know from Bitcoin Jones's video, I do enjoy a good British
Yeah,
accent. So
yeah,
so
yeah,
it
yeah,
just makes it, I know it, for me, it just makes it even a little bit more entertaining just to hear it with the accent. But the other question I had is
yeah,
if someone who is watching is new to crypto, like completely new, like this is maybe like one of the first or second videos they're watching on crypto, what would
yeah,
you say to that person? Like what would you tell them to, I know again, not financial advice, but what would you
yeah.
tell them to at least learn before getting into fully into crypto?
Yeah, clearly not financial advice, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I would say take it slow. I mean, everyone has this kind of, I think a lot of people that get into it, they want to kind of go big and hard because obviously the FOMO, right? They don't want to miss out on making a million. And a lot of people, I think, come into crypto. I mean, I was one included. I wanted to come into crypto and suddenly make, a whole bag loads of money.
Mhm.
And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't
No.
work just quite work like that. And I think the best thing to say is take it slow. Find YouTubers that are of good value and of good content,
Mhm.
and learn. I think learning and just sort of taking a step back and just taking it all in at first is probably key. And of course, avoiding anything like stuff like hypes and stuff until they're comfortable with what they're doing with their crypto, and they understand. Uh, you know, Not so much the technology. I mean, technology is all well and good, right? I mean, that's great, but at the end of the day, we're in here to make money. That's the way I kind of see it.
Yeah, exactly.
And exactly, and small bites and stuff. And if they're looking to do leverage trading, obviously, Oracle is the man to look at. There's no one else in the game that can do that kind of thing. And yeah, just to keep an open mind and soak everything in, not to rush. I think is the best thing to really do.
Yeah, no, I like what you said. Basically, keep an open mind and just soak everything in. Because even for myself, when I first heard about Bitcoin, I was very
Yeah.
confused. I was like, what? How do you? And then I was still very confused on even how to get it back into dollars. And I see that, that's a big question that a lot of people have now on YouTube
Yeah.
is, how to exchange your crypto for cash or like for fiat. So
Yeah.
which app or exchange do you use? Do you find yourself using most out of all of the ones
For
that you?
me, yeah, for me, generally because I'm using crypto.com, obviously for my core number compounding,
Yeah.
I use that for my, where I'm turning over all my kind of like day-to-day money, where I'm spending and stuff.
Okay.
But if I want to send anything to a bank account specifically, I'll use something like Coinbase,
Okay.
just because it's Coinbase Pro, just because it's nice and easy. It's just what I've been used to, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anything that I've got, like from trading or from platforms, or whatever, it will go there and into the bank account. But generally, I mean, I'm kind of liking the fact of just putting all in not all, but a good proportion amount of it in my crypto.com, because again, for me, I'm just using that as my day-to-day spending, even stuff like the bills, the mortgage, the petrol, yeah, all that kind of stuff. It's good to just kind of use it through that, and it's one place that it all goes through, really.
And does that come with like a sort of a debit card? Is that how you use it? Or
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So it comes with its own Visa debit card, so you get kind of perks. There's a downside to it. You've got to kind of stake, and I hate staking. Personally, for me, it just takes too long for me. But you have to stake their coin, the CRO coin, and then depending
Oh,
on what card you're getting, because each card has its own perks to it. But
mhm.
they're good perks. With the card that I've got, it's 3% cash back.
Oh,
I'll get free Netflix, free Spotify, I think it is. Well, you get a rebate on it, but
okay.
it's just like another. It just makes sense, really,
Yeah, it's
for me
just
to be using that.
okay. So yeah, it's just like you said, another Visa debit. So if you
Exactly.
if you needed to, you could even go to an ATM and like pull out the
Oh
cash that
yeah,
way. Yeah, right. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because
definitely.
that's a question I get a lot of times is how do I get my, crypto back into fiat or in like in a
Yeah.
way that I can spend it. So yeah, and I've been looking at crypto.com and they seem to have the best fees so far that I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've got no complaints. I mean, they've had a couple of moments where the app was a bit glitchy, but that's going to happen.
Yeah.
You're always going to get little moments like that. But yeah, it's great. It's nice and easy for me. It's I've just kind of got into a system now, a routine, and it just kind of works. And I think going back to something else, where you asked what would we tell somebody who's new into it.
Mhm.
I was expecting when I first got into crypto, I was expecting to be turning over crypto into cash very, very quickly. And it took me a while to do that. It did take me a while to do that, but once you do and you start getting all your head around things, and
Yeah.
everything becomes easier, and it just kind of it becomes a day-to-day thing. So it's my job now, so it's just
Yeah. I
yeah,
think once you figure it out, like the best way for you, then it's like real simple. I think the hardest part is
yeah,
just figuring out what's the best way for yourself, whether it's using like a crypto.com Visa debit or maybe even just like you said, Coinbase Pro, like where you can
yeah,
link it to your bank account and sell it and direct deposit back into your bank account. But I think that's the challenge that a lot of people are having when they first come in. Because right,
for
I
sure.
mean, what good is it if you can't spend it?
Yeah, dashboard money,
Right,
right? Dashboard
right.
millionaires.
No, dashboard millionaires, right? Laptop millionaires. No,
Yeah.
that's like that guy. Did you see that guy who lost his 220 million because he couldn't figure out his password in Bitcoin?
Yeah. Oh God, there's so many stories like that, right?
I know.
I mean, and that proves another good point of what you say. I mean, another thing is always be secure as well.
Yes,
Always secure
always.
your crypto, always secure your keys, always,
Mhm.
um, know what you're doing. Know what you're doing in terms of
Exactly.
security, for
Exactly. And
sure.
not just with crypto, right? With anything online, like
Yeah.
passwords, 2FA, those kinds of things are very
Yeah.
important.
The alcohol cabinet.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
Always keep it protected.
Yeah, right. And then just don't leave it lying around or just I even use a VPN for everything. I don't know if you do,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's just
Always.
an extra layer of security for myself too. So
VPN and
yes.
YubiKey as well. Something that I've got into now recently
Oh,
is great.
YubiKey. So what is that?
Yeah, that's good. So it's kind of like a 2FA kind of thing, but
Oh.
instead of having your one-time passcode that changes every 30 seconds, it's
Hmm.
something that physically gets plugged into your USB drive, and you
Oh.
have to press it. So you don't type in a code, but you actually have to press it physically. So even if someone had your codes, right, your usernames, your
Uh,
passwords,
mhm.
they don't physically have your key to press. Obviously, unless they nick it, right, then you're up, you're on the wrong wrong track. But other than that, as long as it's there with you, you
Oh,
press it and it's there, and it's a great little piece of kit. I'm going to try and do a video on it actually
oh,
soon. That's
okay.
going to be
Okay,
an
good.
interesting
I'll
one
be
to do.
looking forward to that one then. So, and then I guess my last question, Big K, is if you weren't doing crypto, what would you be doing? Would you still be doing a
Um,
YouTube channel or would you still be doing something else or what would you be
I definitely, I definitely wouldn't be doing YouTube, um, because I laughed at the idea of myself even attempting it. Um, Funnily enough, but what would I be doing? Whatever it is, I'll be doing something that would be working, and if it wasn't working, I'd be moving on to something that wasn't. For me, it's again goes
doing?
back to the way I was, brought up and stuff, and I believe in. I would always work hard to get what I need and what I want, but being in the right circles and having the right mentors, like Oracle, like Nobody, like yourself, and
Yes.
everyone else in the YouTube space to have around you. This is just kind of everything has formed into the right place. So, yeah, if it wasn't crypto, I don't know, but I know I'd be working hard for it.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. That's a good answer. So, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Big K. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we go ahead and end this episode for today?
Not really, just to say thank you. Thank you for having me on. And I love all these interviews that you're doing. It's great. It's good to have this. It's like a little niche that you got now, and you're
Yeah.
interviewing all the crypto guys and girls. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's really great to see what you're doing. It's awesome.
No, well, thank you, thank you. I love learning from other YouTubers and especially crypto YouTubers because I really do love crypto. I mean, I know for yourself and even for myself, it's totally changed my life, especially for this past year. I don't think I would be able to be as stable in my own personal life if I didn't have crypto, you know, of course,
for
with
sure.
everything happening last year and even carrying into this year, I'm really thankful to crypto and to like YouTubers like yourself who give out some good information, where I can learn different things, and especially that YubiKey. I've never heard of that, so that's
Yeah,
interesting.
I'll send you. I'll send you a link to it. I'll send you a link
Yes,
to it.
yes, please do, please do. But
But
thank you, Big
yeah,
K. Thank you
you're
for,
very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
yeah, thank you for coming on, and hopefully we can do this again sometime. You can give us an update on whatever you're doing or what you're into, especially after you do that
100%.
after you do that
Yeah.
YubiKey video. So we can talk about that.
100%. 100%
All
for
right.
sure.
Well, thank you, Big K. And if you have not
You're very
already,
welcome.
ladies and gents, you see this little, I'll unsubscribe so I can subscribe again. You see this little subscribe button, hit that, and you know,
Tickle the
do
bell.
that, tickle the bell. So that way you get notifications on Big K's video, especially for that YubiKey video. That sounds like an interesting one coming up. So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell before then. And as you can see, all his info is right here, and I will put his video or his channel link underneath this video so that if you have not already, you can subscribe to him and me as well. But otherwise, if you know, if you like this kind of stuff, please do subscribe to both of us, and have a great day or night wherever you are. Please stay safe, please stay healthy, please stay sane, most important of all. And
Thank
I
you.
will see you at the next video. Adios.